I now have a project to work on. Yes, that's right. I've got myself a coyote and I need to let it thaw out a little bit. I need to skin it. I'm going to put it up on my handmade stretcher and I'm going to flesh it out and end up making this into a part of a cloak that I've been wanting to work on for a long time. I need 3 of them. There's one. I don't know. Hopefully it'll work out. I don't know. Looks like there's a little spot right here that may cause me some problems. Anyway, we'll see how we get. I will not be showing you guys the the skinning of this animal. YouTube is kind of, I don't know. I guess yeah. Anyway, YouTube's kind of a little wonky, and I'm not sure whether or not they would allow me skinning an animal on YouTube at this point or not. You know, I don't even know if they allow me to say that I can't put a video up about skinning an animal. So anyway, I will skin it, and when that gets done, I'll put together my homemade stretcher that I made, and we'll stretch that out and get it nice and turned into some sort of rawhide after it's fleshed. If you see there's a couple tires there, that's for the dojo. I'm making another tire dummy. So anyway, I'm going to give this a couple days to kind of not be so stiff and solid. And once I get it skinned, I'll show you me putting it up on that stretcher. All right, so I have my green Mora and my Winchester knives and that coyote. Well, we're very close. I just got the head to do. I've been taking my time at it. I quit last night because I didn't want to get too tired and screw it up. The head's important. I want to make sure I get that head. I didn't cut all the way up its jaw, up to its jaw, because I kind of want the fur to stay more like the head than just a flat piece. So we'll see. It got a nasty cut. Right there, it's a big hole. Happened, I guess, when it got hit. Working on it little by little. Whew. Cold hands. Alright, I'm at the eyeballs. Again, something else that gives me some trouble sometimes. Don't want to rush it. I'm not in a hurry. My right hand is, my fingers are frozen. There's some nice sinew back here. I don't know if I want to take that or not. Alright, let's get these eyes off of here without causing, oh dude, its skull got cracked. That's what killed it. Alright, there. Oh, looks like I got the right eyeball. Need to sharpen up a little bit. Alright, I went in and got my light. I had to sit down by the heater for a few minutes because my freaking fingers were so cold they were burning. We're almost there. There's a lot of damage to this snout. So hopefully it'll turn out okay because I need the snout part. Whatever hit this thing shattered its head. There we go, put a little pressure. Don't want to speak too quickly, but it looks like I may have a decent fur here. So close. Get it sharpened up just a tad bit more. Don't want to jack it up at the very end. Go too fast, Richard. Don't get too excited and go too fast. Okay. Right at his nose. Gonna get his lower chin. Come on. Oh, come on. Yes! All right. So, I got the coyote skinned decently, acceptably. There's a few tears in it because of the damage it took when it got hit by the car. But this is a really nice looking coyote. This is a nice looking fur. There. Oh, nice. So here we go. This is gonna look fantastic when I get it done. And again, I was able to get its even got its whiskers. Its eyes are looking fantastic. There's a few tears in it from when it got hit, but other than that, look at that. I didn't do a bad job at all. So, and this, look at that fur. That is just beautiful. That is just beautiful. It's gonna work out fantastic. I did a decent job. There's a couple spots. Let's see here. I got to do the tail. I haven't done the tail. There is a spot somewhere. Oh, there we go. There's a little spot that there was some meat left on it, only because of when it got hit. It was jacked up. There's a tear right here from when it got hit by the car. Overall, honestly, I think I did a pretty decent job. This is only the third coyote I've ever skinned. I try to take my time. This one's got a little damage on it because of the hit, and I really like the tail. It's a really nice tail. I gotta fix the back end here. I gotta cut the tail down and get the bone out of there. The bone is still in there. I gotta fix that. I don't want it to rot. But other than that, I'm gonna take that tail off, or the bone, not the tail. Oh heavens no. So really all I'm gonna do is just cut down the tail from the inside. Nope, from the inside here. Just slit down that tail until I can get to the bone and pull it out. Anyway, I'll do that off camera. Just let you know. But this is gonna soak in some soap and water for a few hours to clean it up. Then it'll just soak in regular, just plain water for a handful of hours, and by then I'll have my my stretcher set up. I'll stretch it out. I think I'm going to stretch it out and then I'm gonna scrape it on the stretcher. I've never done that. Usually what I do is I scrape it wet. I put it on I get my scraping pole and I use my my scrapers and I do it wet. I've had good success with it, and this doesn't need a lot of scraping. I'm telling you that right now. This does not need just a, you know, as a matter of fact, I could probably just cut off what I need just right here. But I am going to stretch it out, and it'll be a cold dry. I don't think I'm going to set salt on it right now. I'm just going to let it sit outside and freeze, and then I can scrape it off after it's frozen. I've never tried that before. I've been watching some videos from some people in Alaska, and that's how they do it. So yeah, I'm gonna give that a try. I'm gonna let it freeze up and scrape it that way. Also, there's, like I said, there's a few cuts in the fur, the hide, because of the damage that it caused when the car hit it. I'm not gonna sew that stuff up right now. I mean, I guess I could sew it up now, but you know, I probably should sew it up before I stretch it, but I don't know. I may have to do a little bit of research on that to decide whether or not I want to sew it up now and then stretch it, or whether I want to stretch it, get it all nice, and then when I re-soak, when I'm going to work the hide, then I can sew it up at that point. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that, but I do know one thing is I'm going to let Mother Nature take its course and have the rest of this coyote. So I'm going to go deal with that. I'll be back in here. I'll set up my stretcher, and I'm going to throw this in a bucket of water. So I'll do all that on camera, and I'll get right back with you after I get rid of the carcass. Alright, so I have a bucket, a couple gallons of water, and some Dawn dish soap. Squirt some soap in there. I'm going to dump this water in here. If I need more water, I'll go get it. It looks like I might need more than 2 gallons of water. I'm almost positive I'm going to need more than 2 gallons of water. I'm probably going to need closer to 5, but we'll see. There we go. And we have one very awesome coyote hide. Yeah, that water might work. That'll work for now. We're just going to wash it up, clean it. Matter of fact, I forgot to take the tailbone out of it yet, so I need to do that too. Anyway, it'll be all right for now. But I'm going to let that soak. It's covered up. It's covered up just fine. So could always use more water, but I don't really have to, and I don't really have horrible great access to water, so we're going to leave it just like that and let it sit for about an hour. And while we do that, we're going to set up our stretcher. Coyote, been soaking for, I don't know, a little while, just in the soapy water. Just want to kind of get all the sort of nastiness stuff off of it. Clean it off a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect. Still got a lot of work to go with it. Anyway, and then I've got 3 gallons of somewhat hot water. I mean, it's tap hot water, but it's hot water. I went into the main house and got 3 gallons of the tap water. So there we go. So that's good enough. And I'm going to stick it in this water here. There we go. And I'm just going to let that sit. There we go. And that'll sit for, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. Give me time to figure out whether I'm going to put cordage or what kind of cordage I'm going to put on that stretcher, and see if it'll actually, yeah, well, I'm going to let it sit. I get it done, I'll clean off my tarp. I gotta get the bone off the tail. I still haven't even done that, but I'll do that. Try to clean up a little bit, and well, I'll get back with you when I get back with you. It might be stretched by the time I get back with you, but that'll be good too. Oh, it's getting really cold in here. I have decided that I'm going to try to not use that stretcher. I'm going to try something different. It's been soaking for an hour, or so, so it's absorbed a lot of water. What I'm going to do is simply just wring it out the best that I can. I'm going to lay it down on the tarp, and I'm just going to apply salt to it without stretching it. I will be cleaning it off. There will be some amount of little bit of the meat, like I showed you before, that I'm going to have to scrape off with a knife. Usually, what I do with hides is I put them on a stretcher. Well, I flesh them wet, then I put them on some sort of stretcher and salt them and let them dry. And as a matter of fact, hold on a second, and I'll show you. Hold on here. Here we go. And here's an example of just that. Here's a squirrel that's on a coat hanger. And I stretch it and salt it. So when it dries, it doesn't shrink up. Now, let me put this back up. I've let that squirrel's been sitting there for Lord knows how long. And I've just let it go like that. I don't plan on letting the coyote sit so long. So what I think I'm going to do, for several reasons. One, just to kind of test new stuff out. And two, so that I don't have to just let it sit around. Because if I put it on that stretcher, it may sit for a couple years before I actually work the hide. This way, I will salt it, and I have 2 1-pound things of salt. I have 2 of them, and I might use it all. I like to liberally use salt when I'm doing this. But anyway, I'm going to wring it out. I will flesh what I can off of it. They're very, very little. There was only one section that I even saw any real meat. Pardon me. That was on the hide, and that was one of the sections that had been damaged when it got hit by the car, and it just was difficult to deal with. So I will try to flesh the meat as best as possible. Like I said, I think there's only really one section I need to do that with, and then I'm just going to salt it and roll it up. I'm not gonna stretch it at all. I'm gonna see how that works. I will salt it the best I can, let it sit for a couple days, resalt it if I need to, but after that, then I will get my egg and mayonnaise wash and reconstitute it into a little bit of wetness if I have to, get it a little more damp. Because I just want the salt to absorb up all that other stuff, and then I'll start working the hide with the mayonnaise and egg mixture. I don't use commercial tanning products, and I don't use brain tan. I don't mess with the brains. I just don't do it. So I use egg and mayonnaise, and it's always worked well for me. So all of my hides, the raccoons, the possums, the beaver, the squirrels, the groundhogs, the prairie dogs, whatever it is, I've always used the egg mayonnaise tan, and it's always worked out well for me. So, without further ado, I'm going to flesh this up real quick, get it setting out, and then I'm going to dump salt on it, let it sit for a couple days, and then we'll go through the process. I'm not going to stretch it. I'm going to try something different, which will be something different, and it will force me to work it a little more and not just let it sit around. Alright, so what I'm going to do is just liberally place the salt on this, and that'll help me scrape off stuff later. So the salt will help create a nice little I will liberally place salt here. I guarantee I'll use this whole thing and more than this. There's a few tears. So some of it happened because of the damage that was caused when it was hit. I'll get the head with the other container. Make sure I use this whole thing, absolutely. No doubt about that. Alright, so there's 1 pound. Rub this in. Oh, that's 1 pound and 10 ounces. So 2 of those. Roll that tail in, roll the head in, feet. Those rolled in. It's like so. There we go. Roll this side. Roll this side. Just roll that bad boy up, just like that. That's going to just sit there.